Jeg drømte om meg far. Jeg så deg blanke kvasse sverd. Fjorden farga rød. Min kjære, han ligg daud.
So guys, I grabbed my coffee and I started recording and
Okay.
yeah. Guys, I want you welcome to the first podcast in Life is Feudal MMO, I guess, right? I mean, nobody did it before. I only some interviews. I saw some interviews from LV and Kike to some guys. It's great content, guys. Check it out from Kike. He's one of JDR. And LV as well, one of Game Over. They are doing great interviews on YouTube, and yeah, that's the first shout out. So guys, I want to talk about Golan 2.0, the wars, how it happened, and yeah, the Orange Coalition, how it developed as well. In the podcast is Gimli,
Hey.
Ricky from Rohan,
Hello.
and Chrome, the leader of Rohan.
Oh la la.
So guys, let's talk about at first the Orange Coalition. I mean, it was, for me, to be honest, I never expected that the Orange Coalition getting so big. It's matter of taste getting so many people inside the coalition. I was afraid at first, I have to say, but I don't regret any single step that we done, to be honest. What do you think about Gimme, about that?
Bobby, if we be honest here, without the coalition, we probably would have stopped playing, right? Like
Yeah, that's true.
that. Our last goal in Goldenland was to protect our friends, and since Rohan was so friendly and also wanted to continue this thing together, and when some other people decided to hop in and join us, we kind of got into this coalition thing. Yeah, like forming another coalition.
I mean, we got so many requests after the wipe got announced of guilds that they wanted to join us. For me, I was personally because we had a rule set at AZ that they. I mean, it was hard for us to accept people in AZ. And even inside the Orange, what do you call it, alliance, kinda, right? And yeah, but like I said, I don't regret anything so far. And I guess Ricky and Chrome as well.
Chrome? Yep. Yeah, I think we did something good in Goldenland before the wipe, because we have too many guilds offering themselves to be part of our coalition, and yeah, we did some great PvP content and PvE as well, and yeah, we are so happy to be all together now, basically.
Yep.
Exactly.
We really never considered anything else, so nothing else crossed our mind at any point. And when I heard the news that we were going to be together, I mean, it was at the time of vacation, and Krom and Doberman wrote me, we're gonna be we're gonna cooperate with Arcangeros, we even gonna be together. And I was very happy because yeah, you know, our history, frenemies at the beginning and then friends. That's the best beginning ever.
True. You were at the beginning fighting with on Goldenland 1. You were fighting with Masons, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, we were cooperating a little bit with the blue ones, but
Yeah, cooperating, but we weren't part of the resistance.
I mean, we always shared the same NPC camp, so wasn't really like hostile actions against each other.
yeah, but I started in a different guild where we actually were enemies.
Oh la la!
Which guild you started?
LSD army.
Oh.
Right at the beginning, because I was in that black coalition.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Black Coalition. Yeah, it was good time. Man.
Yeah, it was nice. But it's always from from a place of respect and good sport. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. That's how I knew that our friendship could work, because it was always from a place of respect and just enjoy the game and don't grieve and don't offend. And I really enjoyed it. Even losing, I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, talking about grief, you fought against Murlocs, and you know that how Murlocs operated against you guys, and it was like kind of like grief. So I don't know, Ricky, man.
But I didn't see it like that. I mean, I lost my first guild due to the incommunication problems within the Black Power, and then the remaining attacks and stuff. But we never saw it as a problem. I mean, it was a content. It was nice content. Just good old fighting. Just there was no grief. There's no grieving. There is no problems. You know, it was fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
And
guys,
that's how the game is supposed to be.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm with you there, because it's all about fun, and I mean, we are all PvPers, and we fight each other, but the fun inside the game is priority, and as long as we all have fun, all good.
Yep.
I had fun.
I had fun as well. Even though I think I was only at like 3 or 4 battles there, but it was really good.
I mean, you've been at the Siege Day, Gimli, so
Yeah, true.
the most important thing you didn't miss.
Yeah, true.
So guys, let's talk about Goenland 2. So basically, the Orange Coalition is it's one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, one of the big coalitions inside the Goenland at the moment, I guess. And we decided to settle down on a island, the AZ island, before the wipe. And there's one guild of us, on of the Drunken Beers, which decided to settle down on the same area which they built it before the wipe. And it gave us some, I don't want to say troubles, but we expected that there some troubles appears because of that, because Resistance is they are, what's the new name of Resistance at the moment?
The Gardenland Guard.
The Goenland
Guards,
Gods. Okay.
Yeah.
They are pretty close there, and I mean, it's kind of rough. I knew that something is going to happen, but I expected like something like after ODB put down the monument, and then they are going to force them to leave the area. But they did it way too late. In my opinion.
I mean, they could have just camped the monument like we did with first Night is Dark or Dark Knights monument.
Exactly.
But they just gave him time to build up, and now ODB is like what? There was one good thing I always saw, like from Jumpad's video. He was talking about one video where he was fighting together with barbarians against I think together with Bloodpack barbarians against TVG, and he said that it became from a small thorn in their eyes, it became a much bigger thorn in their eyes, because they couldn't destroy the monument now. So it will stay there, obviously, and with the current cooperation with TFA from our side, TFA is also using it as a FOB, so it's a hotspot right now.
I mean, the point is, if you see some strangers settle down in your area, you go immediately there and try to talk with them, and not like 4 days after or 3 days after, and force them to move after they built some buildings and some outposts, you know. And
Yep.
it's not that way the way how it works, to be honest, in my opinion. And I mean, they could negotiate with us, but they didn't. They gave just one option, like move or war, and we took the war. I mean,
Yeah,
what?
we need to remember that the first day of game, La Orden were raiding ODB,
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't set war even. So
Exactly.
John thought it was for fun. That's it.
Yeah.
John got some raiders at the first day of Goldenland from La Orden. They didn't war deck them yet, but it was just a funny raid of them. We guessed before, but after 3 days, John got like, I think John got a message from the Leonguard leader, where
Yeah,
he,
then got unchained.
yeah, where they forced him to move, and it was, for my matter of taste, too late.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yes. That's
I mean, that was the point where it escalated, right?
yeah.
The war between Orange and the Goldenland guards.
It was like we brought characters over there after the first few raids, but whenever they were always streaming, but whenever we saw them, like when they came for the raids, they were like 20 or like up to 40, 50 people, and was really no use for us, like with a few characters to go there, and yeah.
You guys remember when they started to come on our island? It was like 70 to 80 guys
Yes.
at the first time. When was it? Like after they forced ODB to go, or
No.
I don't
Before.
What happens was first day they attack with La Orden, so that's fine. We never take it serious. But after that, third day thing, Leon got on Chain Knights told Jokers not to leave with no reason. They just won the land. Fourth day, I think they attack. We didn't do nothing, just waiting for them, see what happens. And the fifth day, then we went there. When we log in, we killed them all. I don't know if you remember that.
I think
And then that night they came with 80 people. Our main Iceland, purple, blue, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think we first, they declared all war to ODB, and then we declared war to them because ODB is part of our coalition. That's maybe also where the confusion from from few of the Goldenland guards come, because some say we declared the war on them, but they declared war on ODB, so you could say they actually started it. But then when we declared war, we started raiding a few guilds of them, and on that same day when we raided them, they came to ODB with lots of people. We couldn't do anything there because there were just too many, and then they came to our island, and then yeah. Bobby, you remember my mistake with bone gathering?
yeah.
You want to talk about that as well?
I mean, you can talk with it.
Yeah, I mean,
no problem.
When we saw a lot of we knew that a lot of people come to our island because we had scouts everywhere and seeing them coming, and I was typing with at the same time one guy from Longfellows, and they are also very close by to our island, and we first didn't wanted them to come over to help us because we first wanted to handle it ourselves, but since sometimes I talk too much, and I was writing with one of the Longfellows guy, and when I dropped accidentally that we are getting attacked, and when I tried to tell you guys we want to handle this first alone. I was like, come, let us allow us to help you. It's like, well, we just discussed we wanted to do it first ourselves. I was like, then he was like, okay, we come over and want to give us some bones. I was like, okay, never mind. I tell you whatever, come over.
I mean, it was funny that they interfered in that battle, and yeah, but
I remember
it was just for fun.
when we saw, yeah,
it was just for fun, yeah.
yeah. I remember when we saw them. Bobby was like, what? There are people there and fighting them. You were first like, are they fighting each other? And I was like, I guess it's Longfellows. And what are they doing here? I think they're gathering bones. And Bobby was like, oh, okay, gathering bones. Yikes. But yeah, that was like first big fight from us.
I mean,
And the last one, they never came back.
They come with small raiding groups, but
Yeah, but they never attempted that again.
yeah,
So
true.
That was a nice beating.
yeah. To be honest, we had on every map since now, on Avalon, on Goenland 1 and Goenland 2, we had always one huge attack from the enemy, like one huge raid. But after that first initial huge raid, there wasn't really a second big huge raid. Like on Avalon 1, we got attacked at the beginning by like 200 people from Duck, but it was so laggy that they never came back with so many people. And on Goenland 1, it was also one attack from Masons, and they boosted inside our base. Was also a good battle.
The point is as well, they rush a lot to get the PvP stuff very quick. We didn't.
We had very. You remember when we went to the NPC camp the first day with board axes and so on?
Yeah, but we have 2 null swords. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, good old null sword. First chieftain dropped me the equality 75. Very nice.
toxic. The point is, at that battle, at that night, where they came with like 80 people to our island, we didn't have any war decks against the purples so far, and I lost in that night. I lost so much alignment. That was really ridiculous. I had like with that character which I fought, I had 140, and it dropped to 80 or 70. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And that's the point. I mean, first people going to start a war against us, and then they see they can't handle themselves and call more numbers. I mean, it's okay for me. I mean, when they see they can't handle it and then call more. But let's talk about the overkill that they did at ODB after they placed a military there and upgraded it to tier 3, or tried to upgrade it at first, but we won the battle when they tried to upgrade it only with USH guilds or the white-blue guilds, and then 2 hours later something else they came like with 180, and that's for in my opinion sign of, I have to say, sign of weakness, to be honest. I mean, 180 against 40 people? Come on.
And they suffer a lot. I'm going to say that. We killed a lot. But we didn't have even houses.
Yeah, but I mean,
I counted the people in Discord that night. It was 68. But after the first fight, many of them didn't have a house. So we ended up with maybe 50, but 45.
Discord is not the same.
Yeah, I know. We had a few more, but after it was just a huge overkill. It was a good old Zerg.
Like, it was not it was when I pushed out with Berserker boys, I went in the backlines and I was just hitting with every swing. I was hitting people, and the thing was, like, they were healing everywhere. They were not even focusing on fighting. They saw the battle already as won because we were like so few people. And when I later on when I pushed when they were capping the better defended trade post, I was pushing inside the enemy behind the trade post. Everyone was like, they are not that many, and then I went behind the trade post and there were like 60-70 people behind that healing up. And yeah, that was the moment when I said, okay, Bobby, this is no use, we cannot hold this, because it's just it wasn't really laggy. It was okay for the lag, a bit laggy, but it was like we had 40 people and they, like, I don't want to over-exaggerate, but they were 100 plus people at least, 120 maybe.
There's definitely more than two. They outnumber us 2-1 at least.
I would say 3
I would
to 1.
say more. I would say
Yeah.
more. At least 2.5 to 1. Because we couldn't see everybody. Of course, we just focused on the battle. But it was true. I mean, they had people keeping us busy. Also outnumbered. We fought like 60, 70 of them, and then they have exact same amount at least elsewhere. Healing, shooting arrows, protecting the outpost. So I would say 100 plus, definitely.
After that, we just had a discussion with everyone from the leaders, and I wouldn't when I be honest here, I wouldn't be mad if an enemy who actually puts effort inside the base and an outpost to win a siege. I remember that from when we attacked together with Game Over SDA. We did a lot. We had to do a lot. We had to build houses. We had to fortificate outposts and so on. The thing was, at those outposts, they didn't even fortificate those. They were just there, and only on siege day they reinforced it with walls. They didn't even try to build houses because they were relying on their numbers, and that's something that pisses me off. And I don't want to that someone who just relies on numbers win a battle just because we are just less people. And not because if they put in effort, would have been okay for me. Like if they would go there and build multiple houses and do something at the fort, but they didn't do anything at the fort.
I mean, until the first Holy, I was like, after we saw they put down military, they had like 3 days time to put it, upgrade it on tier 3. And I was, in these 3 days, I was all day at ODB working. And I knew they will come with a Zerg, and only PvE would stop them I mean, would it make harder for them to go inside outpost and, I don't know, try to cap it. But still then, I was like all day at ODB with 3 hours sleep per day, and terraforming at ODB and upgrading or fortified the outposts, and still they crushed it like it's nothing because of the numbers. So I was hard angry after that because of the act from them. And yeah, we decided to call after that help as well. So we decided to call TFA.
Yep.
And like all of TFA was like or were like, give me port code. I mean immediately, because they know their actions was too overkill against us, and they wanted to help without even thinking about not helping us, you know?
Yeah, but I have to say that overkill is mostly our fault. Because every time they face us with relatively even numbers, they don't stand a chance. I don't know if they are too accustomed to rely on their numbers. So when the fight is relatively even, they lose or they just retreat. I don't know. But they had to call numbers, otherwise they wouldn't have had a chance. And it was proven in the second wave, when we had similar numbers, they didn't stand a chance.
I wouldn't take that as a comparison though, because that was leg fiesta, and everyone who was there also had the same leg. So I wouldn't say we had more skill than them in that fight. We just had closer spawn points. We had more people focusing on pushing and not on retreating. Because when I was there, I saw a lot of resistance guys. I still call them resistance. Golden Guard guys retreating because maybe they were low, they couldn't heal inside anymore, and I guess there wasn't really a second wave from them coming. They just had one big push and didn't try another push. So yeah.
No, the thing basically is Resistance says to everyone that the TFA is the bad guy of the movie because they third at the start of Golden, and they do exactly that. So I know.
To come back to Ricky's point, though, with that they are so much that we lose, that we win every even fight. I wouldn't even say that. Resistance has a lot of good fighters as well. Like for example, Rational is really good, and there's also a lot of guys from Masons who are also good. And I wouldn't overstate that we are always winning the fights, but you can say when we have like really even fights with 20 versus 20, it's often a one by our side. But I wouldn't say always, and it's hard to go in every situation. The thing also with Resistance is like they have a lot of archers and a lot of people who just focus on archery, and in open world archers are really bad. And I remember the same when I saw a lot of TFA videos from the defense of Merowinger, that they also had at that time a lot of archers, and they pushed on the videos. They always had to retreat fast because they were too few people, and on those videos, Resistance looked like a super strong guild. Like all the purple guys, maybe there was just because Barneys were there, and Barneys are good fighters. But also maybe because TFA had too many archers at the time.
Well, everything is gonna be reflected on the IBs at the moment because it's 50 versus 50 or 100 versus 100.
Yep.
So we will see what happens in the IBs at the moment.
I mean,
It's very clear.
We had already the first IBs against multiple people.
Yeah.
First IB was with Game Over against our friends. Game Over asked us to help them. Against in one IB, and Bobby was his supreme leader.
I mean, it went quite well. It was a great IB. The first IB of Goenland, and it was fun.
Bobby's first IB, he was like, "Oh, Gimli, I need your help. I don't know how to lead IB. Help me, please."
Why you believe me?
I don't know. Was good IB as well.
Yes. So far, it seems like they gave up on the ODB siege. Yeah, I don't know what the plans are from them. It looks like yesterday TFA had an IB, but they didn't vote that because I guess maybe they have something. I don't know, really. It's a really what do you call it? Like hard or complicated war at the moment because everyone is like now after that what happened at ODB stepping into the battle. Yesterday I saw as well that the Knights Templar war decked Game Over. No, they're stepping into the battle against Game Over. That's a different front, and to have the overview on that on the battles, it will get harder and harder for me, to be honest, because I don't know what's happening.
True. Like what we also called first TFA because when I was talking a lot with, we could also ask Game Over, and I think they would have come as well. But Game Over had their separate war, and also like some other guys from FUK, or former, you could say, coalition. We didn't want to ask them because what we first knew about TFA was that they had nothing to do at this point. Like they didn't really had a big war or a big front. Maybe against Konditori, which is the guild of Djibouti. Maybe some people remember them as the Order. And but I think otherwise, other than that, TFA didn't have a big front. And the others had their separate wars, and we wanted to keep those wars at these smaller scales. And we didn't want to call them Game Over. But I hope this doesn't get out of hand because we helped, we called TFA in that war, so that it's not getting blue, red versus blue again. And yeah.
I mean, it already got red versus blue, right?
True.
Let's be real.
Somehow, like, it was obvious that at some point TFA will fight against Goenland Guard because they have the two biggest alliances.
Yeah.
It was obvious.
Yeah, but it's a bad movement to attack a third coalition on your own when
Yes.
TFA is growing on the north with no wars. That's stupid, really.
Yeah, that was not smart. That was really not smart getting into war against the new coalition, the Orange coalition, that early, you know, and
Especially if you're losing, like now. So
Yeah, they pushed. They pushed on us the same or similar circumstances and status quo as we had before. So they pushed us to. We wanted to start a neutral, have to develop and be an independent alliance. We are, but we wanted to wait and see how it develops. But the former resistance now, Gothenland Guard, just pushed the same circumstances on to us. And that's what I don't like about the new map, because it feels like an extension of the old one.
What I can say in their defense, I would not say with who I was writing, but one guy from, I think, pretty high up told me that they didn't know that ODB was part of us. So
Okay.
so maybe that was also the reason why they wanted to remove ODB, but still, if they wanted them to be gone, they should have done it like before, like not before they built stuff there, before they wanted to defend their home.
one of the main leaders in that Golanland Guards coalition or alliance, whatever, knew that ODB is going to be part of Orange before the wipe, and that leader decided to get into the battle against ODB, but why he didn't inform them or their own guilds that he is part of Orange? I mean, that's not smart, right?
That they are part of Orange wasn't really. I mean, they shouldn't. They should share information about that, but who knows? We are not them, and we are just doing our own thing, like always. And I think we were just doing the same thing what we did on Golanland, and we help those who help us and always helped us, and will always attack those who are arrogant or like insulting too many people. And that's why also we haven't attacked, we haven't sieged a base. Like the last siege, the biggest siege we actually were planning ourselves, because you couldn't say SDA was a siege we planned ourselves. This was a siege of someone else, and we helped them there. But the last siege was Red Long, and they were insulting Bobby and other guys from us, and that's why we attacked them in siege.
Yeah, so far on Golanland 2, Orange Coalition didn't went offensive yet. So everything what our steps so far is a matter of defending ourselves. So like Raidings, okay, Raidings could be offensive, but it's a resources war, right? Especially at the current state. I mean, when we are going to raid and attack Golanland Guards, we are the main reason why we're doing it to get some loot out of it, right? And
Yes.
we are trying to be defensive, and that why we are not doing some IBs now against them, because they have the IBs against TFA at the moment. But we could place IBs as well, but we are not doing it. And I guess we will keep it like this, right? I mean, we have no reasons going offensive so far, right?
Yeah, they haven't really. I didn't saw them shit talking us, and
well, just the videos online. Annihilation.
Videos?
other videos
Yeah.
from
The
who?
videos from Resistance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I mean, to be honest, the one video from Heisenberg from Mason, that one was actually funny. With one on the moon, it was actually funny.
I mean, it was funny, but it was kinda rude as well, because everyone knew it was overkill, and still doing that kind of video, it's like, I mean,
I'm proud of it. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
On that overkill day, there was even a Pope message from the leader of Laon, I guess, and he was typing "good fight" in that Pope message, and I was like facepalming myself.
Yeah, I was from that day. I was checking all the videos who came out, and I saw like 4 of our guys making a video about that on that exact day on that fight. But I haven't saw a single video from Resistance of that fight. Probably because they don't have good fighting footage, because they were just... you couldn't do anything at that day as a good fighter. Even if you're a good fighter inside Resistance, you could... There was no chance you could do good on that day, because the only enemies you killed were like with 5 to 10 guys, because they had those guys and we didn't have those guys. We didn't have so many people.
So our step... defending ODB, it was, to be honest, I expected that everything is going to be the same like Goneland 1. I typed with some leaders of Goneland guards, and they were like complaining about why we defend ODB. It's an orange guild, and everyone should expect that we are going to defend them, you know? Because the main rule set of the Orange Coalition is like everyone should treat each other like family. And when a base from us getting attacked, everyone treat the base like it's your own base. And I don't know why they complaining about defending them, to be honest. And even some leaders were complaining about 1k ping on a server when 500 players are inside, you know? I mean, big wars, it's okay, but it's not fun at all. Let's be real, right?
It's like when they come with so many people and we come with so many people. It's like they declared war on a coalition. The coalition is friend with another coalition, and you know that if they are getting attacked, they could call the other coalition, could do it. But at the first day we were like, okay, let's try to handle it ourselves. Because on the days prior and the days when they came raiding, they were only like max 80 guys, max. And I think we could have handled 80 guys. I think we could have at least hold a good fortified outpost. I'm not sure about the other one, but when they came with so many more, because it was probably a planned organization, or like they planned it to attack it with everyone, there was no way we could hold it. Like, there was no way we were able to hold it, because we had like 30 guys with shield inside the outpost. We had as many archers probably as we had people. Not maybe it's a over-exaggeration, you know what I mean? But there were just so many more, and it was not really a way for us to win it. And if something is impossible to win, even if you have really good players, and it gets really frustrating for everyone, and they shouldn't be confused why we call TFA or why we ask our friends to help us in that situation.
So, the current state, how it looks, Gimli, what do you think?
I think just today or yesterday, Unchained Knights placed another monument here, ODB. Maybe they want to prevent like the expansion of ODB, or maybe they want to go for a second attack. Maybe they want to go for an attack with more PvE, focus on their side. That's possible. But rest of it, like we have lots of people raiding Olympus, a base which is like kind of their ODB for them, because it's very close to our island, and it's probably the way for us shorter to get there than them to help them there. And yeah, I think it will probably stay like this for a while. We will have good IBs, hopefully. Maybe they will not fight more IBs. I'm not sure how it will go. And yeah, I think that it will first stay like this. Maybe they want to go on the island now. I'm not sure. I don't know what they want to think.
I mean, everything is possible, right?
Yes.
But let's talk about the Olympus topic. Olympus is a guild which, I don't know, how escalated the war against Olympus? How it went, Ricky, you know?
I mean, I know they were part of the. I mean, a couple of them were here at the beginning.
On the island.
On the island, just although that big raid, 80 plus, 70 plus, I don't remember the number, but it was okay because it was all in good fun. But then they started raiding us. They sent a few guys, 2-3 guys here to raid and kill workers. And when that happened, I said, "Oh, that's right. That was a good idea. That's something we could also do because Olympus is very close by." Mm-hmm. So they gave us the idea to have fun with them and do a little PvP and raid and stuff. Because, I mean, I'm talking from the perspective of Jimenez and Rohan. We didn't think about it. We didn't. We just missed it. That opportunity to go there and raid a little bit. But they came with the idea first, and we accepted it. So we started. Remember, we wanted to go there. We organized a relatively big raid, like 20 guys or so, and some guys went there first, if you remember. Just 2-3 guys, and then he released a video where he stated that we started the thing. And that's when I did what I didn't like, because he was basically telling his version of the story.
Yes, yep. I mean, we have the enemy sighting channel, and I every time read like stuff like Olympus was seen on that guild and on that island. You know, I mean, they came even more often. We went there on the island. And
is red, just on a quick side note, is Red green from Olympus?
No.
Okay, because I don't know, was also raiding quite often on our island.
Yeah.
I just remember exactly how it began, because I felt stupid when I saw them here, or heard they were here raiding, and I said, of course, why didn't we think of it first? They just cross the lake, we can swim over, and we can have some fun and annoy them a little bit. And yeah, they gave me, or us for that matter, the idea of starting that nice war.
Yeah, the thing is, at the start they didn't be on war. They didn't set on war. So I have a chat with the leader of Olympus, and I ask him, just directly, they are part of the resistance or not. He told me yes, so that's it. We said war, we start raiding.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But for
Bobby, wait a second. I will have to take my leave now. So good to have some nice chat, and talk to you boys later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, baby.
Bon appetit. Ciao.
Ciao.
So, I mean, Olympus is how they act like they're quite new players. Stepping into such big war is quite not smart, right? I mean, even if you are new into that game, when they come on our island and attack our PvEers, why they shouldn't expect that we are doing the same?
Yeah, it's obvious, of course.
Yes.
What he says is that they just annoyed a big alliance, of course, and then since they're part of the resistance or this new Golden Land Guard, they will get help. So it's okay for them,
Exactly. Yeah, it's like in the last war in Golden Land. Many small guilds declare war against the FA or us or whatever. And if you go to siege them, they are so confused. Like, what are you doing here? Why are you sieging my castle? But we are the war. They feel confident because they are part of a massive amount of players, but most of them are new players, and the raiding stuff, I think is so stressing for them. It's not good for a new guild. Honestly.
When you as a smaller guild join a coalition which is having a battle against another coalition, then you need to expect that you are getting attacked as well. Because you can't expect that you don't get attacked by the other coalition that your coalition is fighting.
Especially when they, after a few attacks that we had, I mean, the first one, the big one, and then the one in the ODB, I know that they had a lot of PvE players. They brought them for two reasons, mainly for training them, I don't know, because that's the only way to train new players, and also to show numbers. And I know many of them just complained afterwards because they were not prepared. They didn't have armor or any good weapons, and then that's what I said before, that where numbers are even, they have troubles because they have it's like the 300s. Yeah, they had the 300 warriors, and the other one brought 2,000, and among them there were only 100 warriors. The rest were PvE. Strong guys, nice guys, committed guys, but not all of them PvP. So that's another possibility. That,
Yes.
The PvE guys, they just speak too high of themselves, and they don't consider that they have among the troops a lot of PvE guys that will suffer.
Exactly. So
And I don't know.
basically, people need to, before they take some actions, they need to think about can they handle it, you know? I mean, when you're going to war deck someone, can you handle that? That's the first question you need to ask yourself. And if you alliance or you do some actions, then you need to expect that something is coming back.
I mean, I don't think the Olympus has a reason to complain because, as I said, as I recall, and I have a relatively good memory, they started it. They started raiding us.
Yes, exactly. I know.
So there was 2-3 guys. That's it. It's okay. Then we started sending a few guys there. Then he started to get cocky and saying stuff on YouTube that they weren't exactly 100% the truth. And then we kept going there, and basically it escalated. And then they just requested help, which is logical.
Yeah,
And now
sure.
it's main Goldenland supermarket. So
Yeah, they got tired of it. I mean, they were at some point. I think someone said, I think the blacksmith of Ascanjeros must be in holiday or so, because they don't need to make any armor. So Olympus is supplying all the Ascanjeros armors.
Yeah,
And it's a very mean comment, but it's kind of true. and then they got tired of basically doing PvE for us, and then
Exactly.
they called help, which is normal. Yeah. They have no reason to complain, in my opinion. They just getting what they wanted.
Yeah, guys, just to make sure, I mean, if the enemies of us wants to talk and find some solutions or negotiate, we are happily keen to talk, because we are not. I mean, till now, like I said, we didn't started the war against you guys and or against the enemies. And I mean, if you want to talk, we are ready to talk. Just to make a call out now.
Yeah, of course, because we try to have a fresh start in this map.
Exactly.
We just gave up the former coalition. We have the fuck. Of course, we have friends there, and it's just known that we're prone to help our friends. But we gave that up. Many of them agreed that we go separate ways, and just to have a new start, which is nice. I mean, you have a wipe. You have you try to have new friends and new dynamics and relationships. Maybe you discover a good friend where there was an enemy, and that's really nice. And but right now it's more or less the same as before. I'm a little bit frustrated about that. and that's why I mean, my opinion, I'm always open to discuss, talk, and do diplomacy.
No, at least everyone is playing a game, right? I mean, everyone needs to have fun, and that's the main reason why we're playing this game, for fun, right?
Yeah, of course. There's no hate or no grudges. I mean, it's a game, good sport. We try to keep it that way. I mean, we even forbid to offend the enemy, or even the use of a local channel to do that. There's
I mean, we are
good
trying
sport,
to do that. I mean, but still, we got some guys which are still offending the enemies. We don't have control of everyone, but we are trying, guys. So
yeah, every time I see that, I just call the guy and say, this is the wrong place to be doing that. We
Exactly,
don't offend our enemies, we respect our enemies, and that's the fun of it. We try to be honorable. And they are part of a coalition, they have their friends, they have the guild, and as they're the same as we, and they're not lesser than us. And we respect and play from the fight based on that. Because in those times there were honor among enemies as well. We try to keep it that way. So if you see anybody offending anybody, it's just emotions running high or something like that. It's not meant as the normal thing that we do. We try to respect the enemies.
exactly. So, guys, we talked now for an hour. And I guess it was a good talk for now, and we should leave it like this. And I think we can do it more often, right? Even invite some of the enemies, some people, and talk with them as well.
That would be nice, yes.
Yeah, that would be nice.
To hear their point of view, perspective, and I
Exactly.
mean, usually one party does not hold the absolute truth. There might be some stuff we're missing and some new perspective that we can gain by speaking with the enemy leaders. Why not?
No. So, guys, if you are keen to join the next podcast, just write me, and we will have a good talk for sure. And thank you very much, guys, for the talk. Ricky, Chrome, and Gimli. Gimli just went have a meal, but it was great.
No problem.
Yep.
Our pleasure.
Jeg drømte
Bye bye.
So, guys, thank you very much. Bye bye.
See you later.
Ciao. Ciao.
So, chicos, this was the first podcast from our side, and we would like to do more, and we would be happy to have guests with us next time. So, if you're interested, please contact us. You see, a lot of topics were hard for us to talk about objectively. And that's why it would be great to see some enemies talking with us at the next podcast. So, guys, if you're interested, contact us. And yeah, thank you very much for listening to the podcast. I'm Bobby Akbar. See you later.